What's something that surprised you about, okay, 120 shows in, are you surprised at who you might become? Are you surprised at some of the things that the show might bring or make you see, make you realize?
On that, I would say I am surprised at how much I need to vary things to stay interested. So with the show, when I started, I thought, oh my God, I could do this until the end of time. And then over time, I realized, I need to change the way that I interview. I need to change the type of questions. I want to change the type of guest. I want to introduce a new show. And that has been a lot of fun. So finding new formats, I now have 3 different formats of show. I have Impact Theory, Health Theory, and Conversations with Tom. And it was just, who are the people that I want to interview? I don't want to stop interviewing this type of person, but I also want to do an interview that's super laid back, right? Where, like you and I are now, right? We don't have a sense of there being other people around. It's just you and me.
Yeah.
And getting a show format like that where there's no one around us, but even like I'm known for my hyper formal intros. We've got like 12 cameras. We've got 20 crews standing around. So it's like, you feel like you're on a TV show. And I thought it puts people in a certain place, which is great because I get people's A game, man. They come, their material is fucking prepped. But they're also like buttoned up, they have their points, they know what they want to say. And so I thought, I want to do another show format. I want to get rid of that one, but I want to do another show format where if somebody's coming back on for the second time, or there's someone like Eric Weinstein, you don't bring Eric Weinstein on and have an ultra formal interview. You like go where it fucking goes. And so we go in basically like our little downstairs set. There is literally nobody in the room. It's a rolling start. I'm just here, with Brian Rose, and today we're going to be, and I don't even say today anything. I'm just like, hey, Brian, what's up? We're here, and we just start going. And making that informal has been so fun for me. Like where I began to see the schism was, for a long time, the people coming on the show were the people I was naturally researching in my own life, regardless of the show.
Yeah.
Then it became, well, there's a lot of people, I'm reading their books and stuff, and I'm not bringing them on. I'm not talking about that topic because it doesn't fit the format. So I'm like, let me get a format that does fit it. So that, I didn't see that coming. I felt in the beginning like, oh, I'll just do this like this forever, and that'll be that. And then something that I found in being a media company that I didn't expect, we are now almost entirely focused on kids. So I thought for sure we were going to make movies and books and comics and all that for adults. And then I read a book called, you ready, Brian? A Billion Wicked Thoughts. Oh my God.
Really?
That book is incredible. I heard Jordan Peterson throw away, it was during one of his lectures, and he starts laughing and he's like, oh, you want to read an interesting book? Read A Billion Wicked Thoughts. And I was like, I'm gonna go check that out. I read that, dude, game changer. For any media company, it is a game changer. So I read that and realized, whoa, when you make a piece of content, know who your audience is and go all the way in. That pointed me to Japan and what they're doing, which is why I now travel to Japan a lot, and I'm working out some deals in Japan because they get storytelling. They export their anime like into a worldwide penetration level that even American cinema doesn't see. It's just the rest of the world laps it up because it's so archetypal. If it's aimed at a girl, it's aimed at a girl. If it's aimed at a boy, it's aimed at a boy. If it's aimed at a 6-year-old, it's aimed at a 6-year-old, a 15-year-old, a 15-year-old. Like, they know exactly who they're going after. And they don't care if people think it's politically incorrect. They're like, I don't give a shit. Which is why like so many people, a Western audience, will freak out over what they see in anime because they're like, but I know a 14-year-old boy wants to see exactly this.
Yeah.
So we're gonna give him exactly that.
My daughter loves it.
It's crazy.
And
Dude.
I was like, what? And she's all over it, the websites and stuff. And
When you go into, so if you go into a comic book shop here in the US, you're looking at guys probably 40 and over. Guys 40 and over, period. That's it. You go into a manga shop, which is their version of a comic book. There is everyone. There is old ladies, there are young girls, there are boys, there are old men, nerds, business guys. It is surreal to walk into a manga shop and to see that diversity. And everybody knows what their section is and they go right to the thing. If they like sci-fi, they go there. If they want, pin-up type girls, they go there. Girls, a huge thing, you read about it in A Billion Wicked Thoughts. A big thing is girls who read stories about homosexual relationships between 2 main male characters. I never would have guessed. So utterly fucking fascinating. So they just they segment themselves out and they go for that stuff. So anyway, reading that book, A Billion Wicked Thoughts, I realized, age of imprinting is real. If I really want to impact people, I need to hit them at the age of imprinting. So there's a guy named, I know I'm all over the place. This is so important to me in my thesis.
This is good, man.
All right, there's this guy named Jeffrey Canada. I want Jeffrey on the show. Jeffrey. he basically, this guy grows up in Harlem in the 80s during the crack epidemic and goes, I'm going to go get a scholarship to Harvard. I'm going to get into education. I'm going to change the education system. He does it, gets a full ride scholarship to Harvard, goes, comes back, spends like 10 years or something in the school system, realizes it's broken, I can't do anything about it. And his punchline is, you have to give up on adults. And he becomes obsessed with getting mothers who are pregnant or about to become pregnant, and he realizes that the biggest predictor of your success, and the reason that your zip code predicts your success, is kids who grow up in the inner cities hear like, I think it's 20 million words by the time they're 5. 70% of them are negative, 30% are positive. Whereas kids who grow up in the middle income areas, they hear 50 million words by the time they're 5, and it's 70% positive to 30% negative. And he said it totally influences the way that the language centers in your brain develop, and that has like this huge knock-on effect through the rest of your life. And I was like, oh, I hate that. I am an adult. I think about adults. I want to help adults. Like I just have so much empathy for somebody who makes it to like 30 and like they feel trapped and they've tried and it's like everything just seems so hopeless. Kids at least usually have a sense of I can do it. There's optimism. And then I just realized you can help adults. Absolutely. They can change. No question. But let me tell you, you want a disproportionate reward on your efforts? Go after a kid. So 11 to 15 is now our obsession.
Why 11 to 15? Why not earlier?
So we will ultimately get there.
Okay.
The reason we started there is what the Japanese call the shonen years. So shonen translates literally as the few years. So from 11 to 15 is like this hardcore age of imprinting where you're trying to rebel against your parents, you're coming into your sexual being. So it's this really fucking fascinating window. Now, ultimately, we'll skew even younger and do 6 to 12, which is another sort of globally recognized breakup, but most people think of it as 6 to 9, 9 to 12. I'm not good enough there yet, which is the reality. I just don't understand it well enough. Even when I was a kid, I wasn't into kids' entertainment. So it's going to take me a while to wrap my brain around that or to hire the right people. But 11 to 15, that's when I got into it. So I already have an innate understanding of what will pop there. And that shift has been incredible. So giving people the book as an adult, one of our books aimed at adults, you get, oh man, this is so cool. Thank you so much. Giving it to a kid, they get obsessed. We had one woman write us. We have this new book out called Hexagon. We had a woman write us. She was like, dude, my kid makes me read Hexagon to him every single night. This kid's obsessed. And I thought, whoa, that's crazy. Another parent sent in their kid doing drawings of Hexagon. Another one was like, my kids were playing a game called Attack on Hexagon. I mean, it's just like, this is so crazy that they're like, kids imbibe it in a way that adults just don't.
And Hexagon is aimed at the 11 to 15?
Yes.
Okay. Wow. Now, none of Impact Theory content is consumed by under 17s on YouTube.
Not yet.
Right.
I mean, we get some 16-year-olds, but no, we're going to start doing an Impact Theory Kids.
Okay.
So we see it, there's a graduation system. So you start, hopefully, in our film and TV. So we've got some things cooking now that hopefully will be coming out. It takes like 3 years, it's crazy. But we've got some things cooking there.
Just to write, to plan,
to actually get them made.
Okay.
So the writing you can do relatively quickly, but then getting it optioned and then getting it into production. That we hopefully will have some stuff coming in future years. But that's the like biggest part of the funnel. So that's
the younger audience.
For any audience.
Any audience.
So
okay.
That is, you're hitting people at a limbic level. It's emotion.
Okay.
Hit people at a limbic level, you can get them to take in things like Yoda, and Yoda's teachings are real. If you take Yoda's advice, your life will actually be better.
Okay. So dramatized versions of your ideas in a series or movie or something like that.
Correct.
Okay.
Then it's graduating to the interview series like what we're doing now, and then from there we have actual curriculum that we call Impact Theory University.
Correct. Okay. All right. So this has all been a change in the last 12 months where
Yes.
you said, oh, younger is where we need to go.
Correct.
Like Disney.
Yes, which I rejected in the beginning. I was like, and I remember saying to the team, all right, we're basically going to be copying Disney's model. And I said, we have one Achilles heel, which is we're not focusing on kids. And I knew it was an Achilles heel, but my passion was adults. So I was like, nah, like, we'll do stuff for kids, but first we're going to focus on adults. But then it just hit me in the face that because of the age of imprinting, because you have this window where kids are they're never going to be more pliable, that you can really give them some powerful mindset, it just made sense. I'm still haunted by Jeffrey Canada's words about giving up on adults, and I really am not prepared to do that. But focusing, say, 80% of our energy on kids, that'll be our future.
That's fascinating, man.